All right, what's up, Solar fam? It's your host, Ian of the Solar Dex Inner Solar podcast. I'm joined here by John.
What's going on, everybody?
John, great to have you. And we want to send positive vibes out to Richard. He's not feeling too hot, so unfortunately, he won't be able to join tonight. So if you're out there, if you want to reach out to him, that'd be awesome. But send those good vibes. He'll be up and kicking tomorrow. But it's just rocking with me and John here tonight, and have some good updates that we wanted to give everyone in this podcast. So I'll just hop right into it. One of the biggest things is we just launched on LBank. I want to get your thoughts on that, John.
Yeah, so what I'm kind of realizing with all these launches that we have on these various exchanges, nothing goes bad. At least it hasn't thus far. Nothing's going quite bad, but things could definitely go smoother. Um, People in the chat were mentioning like a little bit of a price discrepancy between Radium and LBank, but actually, like I noticed that on LBank the price shot up like to like 8 cents for all of like 30 seconds. Anyhow, it's it's been good. I mean, there's definitely been things that everyone should take note of, things that could be improved upon. But yeah, I'd like to talk more about the competition that went on recently,
Yes,
if you're
100%.
down for that.
Let's go. Yeah, because I'll just put my 2 cents into the L Bank. Like, I just want the community to know that every time we do a launch like this, it's really just to help get the name out there of solar and really get more people involved. Because once we launch this Dex, that's where it's really gonna hit home. And every launch that we have with decentralized and decentralized exchanges, we're taking notes of what went well, what didn't, and what we want to bring with our exchange to make sure that it's the best experience and the most simplified experience for the community too. So once again, like, I don't know how many times I've said this, but the community's in the forefront of our minds, and every time or everything that we do is really for the community, and we're really trying to hone in on our craft. So when we launch this exchange, that's going to be the most impactful and the best user experience out there too. And one of them is the competition that we talked about. Like, the competition, really good and thought, but with the buy and sell part of it, that's where we're like, hey, what's actually going on here? So John, like, I know for me personally, when I saw the buy, I was like, oh, it's about to go down. But then when I saw the sell half of it, for the trade volume, I was just like, what's going on here? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw too much shade, but I thought that was a little iffy, kind of fishy. The fact that the competition was based off of total trade volume as opposed to like buys. I don't think this should take much explanation for anyone, but should probably just be based off of buys. And I'd like to encourage the community to buy and hold because as we've stressed over and over, once this Dex launches, bang. So the competition was a little bit of a headache, and due to the lower liquidity supply in LBank, anything that goes on over there was drastically changing it. So yeah,
Yeah, with the competition, I think, like I said, it was good in thought. Um, with the whole trade volume for buys and sells, like, everyone that I've talked to in the community that reached out and said, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Like, this project is for longevity. And so we're not looking for those quick exchange. Like, what I think they were doing is the exchange fees, where it's like, hey, we just want volume and then we'll rake in as much revenue off those exchange fees and encourage that rather than encourage the buying of this token and then really just holding on to it. That's one thing where I was just like, that could be improved upon. So the competition itself was very good in thought, but the execution, we wanted more clarity, and we're trying to clear that up with LBank currently, where all the community members that reached out to me, they're like, hey, we're here for a long time and a good time. And I'm like, hey, I couldn't say it better myself. So we're trying to work on that. And that's why with the future of the exchanges that we want to be listed on, we're trying to go after the big dogs now. I think we have enough of a following and enough of like-minded people where once we get onto a bigger centralized exchange, that's where it's going to hit home where, hey, this is here for a long time and we're going to have that concentrating, have that transparency, as well as the communication with the price of the tokens, because there was some weird things going on with the price of the tokens, and it fluctuated up and down um, kind of drastically at once. So the next centralized exchange or DeFi exchange that we go on, we're going to try to make it apparent as much as possible. Like, hey, this is here. We're Solar. We want to be here for a long time. Let's have some moves to actually encourage that and encourage the fair trade where it's not going to be based off of buy and sell volume, but rather just the buy volume. And then the selling will come once that price starts to go up too. So really excited for the future of these centralized exchanges. I know that we're talking to a lot in the background and making sure that everyone's goals are aligned too. So that's on the horizon. That's kind of the recap of the launch, our final thoughts on that. But I really want to start focus on the Solar Dex because we've had a lot of traction with the Solar token, but the Solar Dex is really what's going to make this project boom and really blow up. So, John, I want to have a little bit more of a conversation on the Dex. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, if you're in the Telegram chat, you should have been able to see the prototype for the new what was it? The new design. That's what I'm looking for. It just looks a lot more business professional, and the old design probably would have worked on Ethereum or Binance, something like that, because this is something we've been saying from the beginning. Those are those tend to be more friendly. Those networks do for like meme coins and such. This is Solana. Projects are inclined to be more serious, and I think this just, I mean, regardless of that, I just like the looks of it better. I think it's more business professional, and as we grow, larger scale investors and other institutions are going to take it more seriously because of that. So that's just the immediate thing. It'll be just a little bit. The DEX itself has to be entirely done before we give it the solardex.finance address, but I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, the website is really going to enhance the Dex altogether because, like John said, we're trying to have it more business professional just because, like I said, we're here for a long time and a good time. So we wanted to have that fun aspect, but at the same time, we want to attract the right clientele where it's not going to be the buy and sell, it's more the buy and the investor standpoint. So redoing the website so that we can launch that Dex is going to be key to actually attracting the right clientele and really blowing this project out of proportions too. So, looking more into the Dex too, the swap coding is done on the exchange. Liquidity locks are currently being worked on. And then, as soon as we finalize that website, we want to translate that over to the front end design after everything's done. So, the exchange is going to be released here in the next month or so, and I couldn't be more excited about getting that out into the market and really hitting home with what this project inherently is going to be. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people I noticed today, well, I mean, it's been going on for a while, but I noticed today specifically, people are asking about um, when could we bet on the exchange itself being launched? They're saying, is it going to be within the first quarter of 2022? I'm like, yeah, it will be. I mean, recently, the dev team got sick, so give them a little time to recover. I'm not going to expect anyone to do any hefty work like that while they're ill, but yeah, at this point, everything's up and running smooth as far as the dev team goes. They're all going good. So yeah, I would also say within a month, it's looking good. Um, and also more so than that, because Ian, you basically did cover everything that there is to say about the Dex as of right now.
Yeah.
I would like to draw everyone's attention to the fact that Slope now shows prices. Go into your Slope wallet, you look at Solar, boom, there we are.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like the Phantom prices
Go
were
ahead,
showing
say it.
this week too, and with prices on slope, everything's coming full circle. So, with seeing the prices on there, I know me personally, just looking at my wallet and going, "Oh, I got all these solar coins," but what does this mean? Having that price show, it gets me hyped because now we can have full visibility and everyone's on the same page with what's happening too, right?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Awesome. Yeah, we're kind of blowing through everything really fast, but I like this
I'm liking it. I'm
conversation.
excited,
Yeah,
man.
I know, dude.
Everyone should be hyped about this.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can feel it through the monitor screen or anything, but like I'm getting goosebumps again. And a lot of these goosebumps are everything that we have happening in the background. I mean, the Dex is being worked on vigorously. We're gonna start beta testing here soon to make sure it's a really good experience for you guys. The prices are showing now, and we have a lot of partnerships on the horizon. So let's deep dive into that a little bit. So where have we been? Where are we going? And what are we currently working on too?
Yeah, so our partnership that we recently formed with Solana Cash is going well. As a matter of fact, we got them on CoinMarketCap already. If you
Woo!
got woo baby, if you if you guys recall, we got on before we even launched, within a day of applying. So it just goes to show that I think this is a good, well, it's rather anecdotal evidence, but I think this goes to show it's a good sign, anyways, that Solar is starting to carry some credibility, and we can force other people through if they're attached to our name, and we want to make it so that they have credibility too because of it. Um, yeah, so Solana Cash is going very well. We're still talking with them. Um, this is news from Rich. Oh, actually, go ahead. You were
I was
about
just
to.
gonna say, and if you guys aren't familiar with the Solar Cash partnership too, or the Solana Cash. Going to the last episode, we sat down with Kamara on the project, who's the CEO. And one of the biggest reasons why, once again, we partnered with Solana Cash was because there's such a great mind behind it. And so getting Solana Cash on CoinMarketCap just shows that synergy between the two projects of how we can actually help complement each other and really boom both, just because with Solana Cash, what they're aiming to do is going to revolutionize the DeFi and crypto space altogether. So I just wanted to put that little segue into there. Check out the last episode, learn a little bit more about that because they're going to do great things here in the future too.
100%, 100%. And then news from Richard. I'm going to be completely transparent. This was something he was doing on his own, so I personally have no idea what he's getting at. But he told us that he got off a video call with a community member today, and he's going to advise on their project, and they're going to be Solar exclusive.
And this is huge because the partnerships with our projects, what we're aiming to do with this too is to have solar exclusives. I mean, the first mover advantage into the Solar Dex and into the Solana network is huge for our project. And I believe that's why we have such a huge following with our community. Having these other projects and really vetting them out to show the application behind the token, what they're trying to do, their vision. I mean, it comes full circle with a new website design, um, just attracting the right clientele, attracting the right projects to partner with, and just bringing those exclusively onto the Solar Dex. I think it's going to be huge for one, the exchange, but two, what we're trying to build on the Solana network too. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nothing to correct there.
Hey, I'm glad that we have like the same line of thinking. I'm a lot of folks don't, and the synergy between you, me, and Richard, like I just want to say this is awesome working with you guys and partnering with you just because we're all like-minded and we're all trying to do what's best for the whole DeFi community. So having this in mind, like I just want to say I'm grateful for you guys and I'm grateful for Solar Dex because what we're trying to do in the DeFi space is truly revolutionary and it's going to be awesome with this ride that we're going on right now.
Yeah, exactly. There's, as far as the three of us go, there's no bad personality clashes. I've had to work on different projects of various sorts with people who, I don't know, man. I just don't jive with. Like some people just, they don't get along.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
it's
we're
kind of
so
like that.
cohesive.
It's like that joke where it's just like when I die, I want my partners in my project to lower me down in the grave so they can let me down one more time. And like, I've worked on various projects where that was definitely the sentiment. Where once it was done, is like, okay, like let's not do that again. But yeah, with this project and with the partnerships that we're doing, it's like the complete opposite 180 of how that feeling is, that sentiment, because every time we onboard a partner, we have some more relationships being built, and then just a relationship with this project is just it's this is why I'm so excited to get started because we're like on like step 2 of like probably 20 that we want to do. We have a big vision, and knowing that John has that in mind and Richard has that in mind, it just in my mind that's like key to success right there.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
And I want to give a huge kudos to Richard because he's working his butt off, and we possibly have a huge partnership coming up here in January. Like he gave us a little sneak peek, and we promised that we won't announce it until it's official. So once the Solar Dex is up, running, and launched out into the community, we have some big announcements coming. So stay tuned, guys, because like I said, we're on the very first stages of a long, rigorous, and just huge trip together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I can't stress enough, everyone, potentially huge partnership. Like I'm radiating right now. I don't know. Like my some of my personal interests outside of crypto, this plays perfectly into it. So I'm fanboying out right now. I don't know. It's
I don't.
things
I get a little
things could be
sweaty.
massive. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I feel that radiation, and I know that we're quite a whiles apart. So knowing that, and like John said, like I'm fanboying out here too. So big partnership, couldn't be more excited about it. And once it comes to fruition and you guys know about it, I know that you guys will freak out too. So I want to put a lot of hype behind that because it's going to be huge, and what we're trying to do and having this partnership come into fruition too is just going to blow this project out of proportion. It's going to be crazy.
Can you hear my smile?
I can hear it, and I can feel it down in my toes.
All the way down. All right.
It's
I hope
crazy.
every
It's
listener
crazy.
can too.
You guys check your toes right now. You'll see John smile. Don't worry about it. It's natural.
Pearly whites.
I mean, like those are the biggest updates we have. I mean, it's been a busy couple weeks for us, and we're working on a lot of things in the background. And the one biggest thing that I'm solely focused on too is really just trying to market the crap out of this. So I just want to put it out there too. We are on Discord now, and we have our Reddit. I'm working on a link tree because we're expanding so rapidly. Where if I try to put all the links in this description, like you probably won't even find everything because there's so many. So I will put the links down in this description right now, but I'm working on that link tree to actually put in there too. So any updates on your end, John, before we let everyone head off?
I guess I'd just like to let everyone know that I have been receiving a ton of DMs from various people, at least claiming to represent a different community or be part of some exchange or a YouTube channel, things of that nature. While we'd love to get solar out there, um, basically through like a questioning process, we've determined that almost all these people are fake. I mean, just be very careful out there, guys, because I personally fell victim to like a scammer scam me for a hefty chunk of change. So that was no fun. That was an ouchie moment.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
the
I
improvements that we're talking about.
exactly. So I'd also like to say that if there are any community members out there who have genuine, legit contact information of someone representing a very like a project or an exchange or a YouTube channel, something like that, um, you could always send that to us as long as it's legit because I'm tired of checking DMs, man, when they're all bots.
And the biggest things with that too is that we're trying to get out into the community, not just ours, but into others too. So if you do have an influencer in mind or any other projects that you think could be very beneficial, the easiest way is not to DM us, but rather just tag them in a post, tag us in a post. And then once I have this link tree link out there too, include that out there just because the easiest way to get us out there isn't to DM us going, hey, reach out to this guy or whatever scammer does go, hey, I'm involved in an administrator in this project. That won't work for us. So if in order to really get our name out there and make some moves, I want to have a call of action just to start posting post about Solar Dex, tag us in there, and tag all the influencers, all the pages and channels that you can to really get our name out there and make those touch points. Just because, like John said it in the past too, we're not going to DM you and going, hey, we need this, we need that. So if you get a DM from us, it's probably not that, unless if we're doing a giveaway. So, and if it's a giveaway, I made it apparent to the people that won the last airdrop that, hey, I'm gonna solidify myself and comment from our like YouTube channel. We're gonna do the same thing on like Twitter and on the Discord, but make sure that you tag us in there. Tag all the projects that you want us to reach out to. Just because once we get our name out there and they know that we're legit through that, that's when we can actually start making moves. So I'm putting a call to action to the community. Any help is appreciated at this point, and DMs probably won't go a long way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If I already forgot, I potentially retract my previous statement about saying DM us contact information, because that's not the way we want to go about things. You're exactly right. Tagging us in a public forum would be much better, or tagging them. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, like
I'm
if you
just
have
tired
some,
of it.
hey, I have probably like 20 DMs right now doing the same thing, and none of them are legit. So the biggest way to get us out in there in the community and involved in different projects is to really just tag us in posts. I mean, I know from personal experience with other projects and everything, that's the easiest way to catch attention. Like if you want to DM us, that's probably not going to go away because that doesn't bridge anything. Having it in a public forum or anything like that, that's going to be the way to actually get our name out there and connect us with the right people. And honestly, if you have someone in mind, we probably reached out to them already. So having that and really having that call to action is going to be the way that they actually reach out to us and start that dialogue too. So I just want to throw that out there for the community, and do that before we sign off. But I know we're kind of heading on that time, but so I want to just ask any final thoughts from you, John, before we let you go.
Big things are happening. Unfortunately, a lot of it, unfortunately for you guys, I guess you have to be left in suspense. A lot of it's behind the scenes, but yeah, the ship's moving. It's moving
Dude,
fast.
the ships is moving. The rocket ship is getting boarded on by more and more passengers, and yeah, I'm beyond excited to see where this goes in the future. I mean, like John said, we have a lot of big things happening in the background, and I know that's very vague and probably suspenseful for a lot of our listeners, but just keep keeping on, keep doing the right things too. Keep that involvement. And I would just want to say that the Telegram involvement has been awesome, but we want to start branching out too with Twitter, with YouTube, with our Discord, with Reddit, all these things that I'm going to build a link tree for and really get out there to you guys so you have that one stop shop too. But we're on that time. So, John, I appreciate your time, sir. Like I said, this project has been awesome, and we're in the very beginning stages still, and the things that we can do are just going to be astronomical. So I appreciate Richard, and I appreciate this community for being really involved in having those call of actions too. And we're going to be as big as you guys want it to be, because our aspirations are probably just 10 times that too. So if you're still listening, I appreciate you. No DM goes unheard, but let's have more involvement. But this is Ian and John from Solar Dex on Enter Solar. If you haven't already, like this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. And let's take to this thing to the moon, baby.
All right, let's soar.
All right. Until next time, guys, look out for next week for our latest episode and the latest updates, too. Until that time, this is Ian and John signing off. And thank you for tuning in to Enter Solar.
Adios.